Hi, welcome back. And this week I'm showing you how to use Clear Gesso on wood items. So here are a couple of examples of my ornaments from 2022 that I did. I used Clear Gesso on the wood, and then I applied acrylic over top of them. One of my favorite things about Clear Gesso is that you can see the wood details behind whatever you're painting. And here's an example of oil on wood that I've already gessoed. You can gesso pretty much any surface, but this is just an example of that. This is the gesso that I use, and we're going to follow these directions. You can use a diluted mixture or an undiluted mixture, but between coats you're going to need to sand. This needed a little sanding in between coats, so here I am using 220 grit to sand that. Make sure you shake it up really good, and I use it undiluted in this case. If you use it a little more diluted, it'll be a smoother texture. And here we are, just applying it. Make sure that you get like a nice even layer and then let it dry for 24 hours. I just use regular brushes for this, but I make sure I clean them up really well afterwards. If you followed me for a little bit, you know that I have a 100-day project where I use dice to decide how I'm going to create, and I let the dice decide today. We're doing gouache today using red, violet, and yellow orange, and it said 13 figures, but we're gonna do 13 flowers. I'm doing a commission with some tulips for someone, and so I have had tulips on the mind. If I had wanted to, I could have used watercolor ground to prepare the surface here, but it's not as clear sometimes as the Clear Gesso is, even diluted. And so I wanted to see the wood through this, and Clear Gesso was the better choice in this case. Gesso is really great because it helps preserve the integrity of the surface beneath. So the gouache here is not soaking into the wood, and hopefully in that case it will preserve the wood for longer, and you'll be able to enjoy it for a longer period of time. Sometimes in cases like oil, you definitely want to prime those surfaces because the oil will soak into the wood and it just doesn't look as good. So I always recommend preparing your surface that you're painting on in some way. And it's honestly that easy to use Clear Gesso. I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial on using Clear Gesso in your work, and that you will like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that we can make more artwork together.